Cheers.
Cheers
Hell yeah.
to Tombstone Poetry.
Woo!
Sponsored by Hams.
Sponsored by Hams. I hope you don't get sued.
Yeah. I hope I don't either. But I feel like if I ever do, it'll give me a lot of street cred.
Yeah, that would be. It might be good for the podcast.
Do you think you'll ever get sued?
I think I could. I think I could.
If you were to get sued, what do you think it would be?
I would probably put some anime character on a merch design or something and go a little too far.
And I'd be the one that would print it. And
Yeah.
I'm going with you.
Yeah.
Or I'm blaming it on some other screen printer.
Yeah. No, we could set it up. We could I don't know, have a front for it or something. A fall guy.
Do you think Field Medic would sue you?
Field Medic approves of the name.
Oh,
And
nice.
I learned that recently. Yeah.
That's nice. How'd you find that out?
Well, I'd always DM'd him hey, I love your music.
Obviously, yeah.
I stole this for my band's name, and it wasn't that he was leaving me on red. He just never even opened it, and then I saw one of my friends that knows him posted about us going on tour, and he slid up and was love to see that name going on tour.
Nice.
So I think we're in the clear
Class
with Field
act.
Medic, thankfully.
Class act. So
I don't know if Field Medic has lawyers though, and what that would be like.
Thanks for not suing Caelan, Field Medic. Mr.
Thank you,
Mr.
Field Medic.
Mr. Field Medic.
It's all out of love and admiration.
So with the name Tombstone Poetry, obviously stems from a Field Medic song.
Yeah.
But over time, I don't know, how has that name kind of its meaning for you changed in a way at all, or what your relationship with the name is, aside from being as a reference of Field Medic, or stems from that? It is something.
Yeah. It started out, it was just I was scrolling through my Spotify liked songs, and I was like, oh, that's kind of a cool phrase. And I also I guess a couple years into it, I was like, should I have picked that name? Should I have picked something more personal? But I think it has taken on its own kind of meaning. A lot of the context of our songs is based around grief and death and stuff like that. So
That's what I was going to say. It's so, I listened to the record this morning and then on the dog walk today.
yeah,
And the name is so on brand.
hell yeah.
It'd be so weird listening to the record and your name was green banana slices.
yeah.
And I was
I don't think that would be fitting, no.
But yeah, I find it's kind of cool that you have the name, and then, sometimes I wonder if the name dictates kind of the themes of songs or whatever unconsciously.
Yeah.
But in a way, I feel like it has worked out really well for what you're presenting.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, dude.
I've really enjoyed the most recent record. How Could I Be So in Debt?
Yes. Hell yeah.
Beautiful artwork. Is that an actual painting?
Yes.
How big? Who's the artist?
My friend Avrion painted that, and
It's beautiful.
Yeah, they did an insane job on that.
Yeah.
I just you should have seen the original sketch. I'm no visual artist, and it was just I did it in pencil, and I was labeling things boulders here. Da, 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 da,
Oh, so this is from a design,
yeah,
a blueprint.
I had
essentially.
this idea, but they executed it in a way that completely exceeded expectations. So
Yeah.
I was really excited about it.
Yeah, and have they done artwork for you before? I feel like some of your credits on your Bandcamp had that name.
They did all the single covers, and the World Series Hangover EP cover, as well as what else? They've done a shirt design for us too.
That's great.
They did the deer
Oh,
shirt design.
awesome.
Yeah.
The most recent one?
The old OG.
The OG
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Okay. Gosh, OG one. I feel like I've printed so many for you.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's a good thing.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. How big is the actual painting? Do you have it? Is it in
I
your
do.
possession?
It's in my room. Yeah. I think it's 12 by 12.
Okay.
It's like a little medium size.
Okay, I didn't know. Yeah,
canvas.
because it's the and I'll have it on the video too.
Yeah.
A cutaway to it, but it's it just oozes out, and
Yeah,
I pictured it being this massive mural.
That would be really cool. It'd be cool to print flags of it.
Yeah.
Too.
So what gave you the inspiration for the design? Like you kind of made a blueprint of boulders and things you wanted.
Yeah.
Did you have songs already written, or when did you formulate the artwork or the direction of the artwork for the cover?
I think it just kind of happened over time, like as the songs got more fleshed out. Like I said, I rarely have like a good vision for visual art. But I spent so much time with this record over the years, and I mean, it took me like 3 years to write it, and then finally getting mixes back. I think I was just kind of listening and just seeing what I pictured, and I don't know. I think like the big river of blood is like it's an album that's about a lot of guilt, and like it's it's not a fun album lyrically, and but yeah, I don't know. It just kind of came to me over time, like kind of this floating island of your own like debt to people and debt to the world and all this shit,
Yeah. So that's like the cover for the most recent release. Before we get too ahead of ourselves, I want to talk more about.
Yeah.
We were just talking about some of the characters in your life from Canton.
Yes.
And so you are one of the a lot of the people I interview on this podcast are from the Asheville WNC area, but you're like from.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
That's a
The
pretty
lineage.
good. That's a good flex. You're from here.
I'll take it.
So you're from here. Your parents have been here for a long time too.
Yeah.
Through that, when did you start getting involved, like with music? I guess is what I'm trying to get to, is music and how it relates to the area. I guess going out to shows, or did you like, get a, just curious what your origin story is as far as your first instrument and things.
Yeah. Dude, I'd love to talk about it. Yeah. Yeah, but I guess the first instrument I ever got was a drum kit, and I was like 11, and my dad like found one on Craigslist for me for Christmas, and I never took to it, honestly. And then fast forward probably 3 years later, and my band at the time in Canton has like 4 acoustic guitarists and no drummer. And so I was like, I guess I have to learn drums, So, yeah, we were all just me, Sophia, and my buddy Tom. We were just bored in Canton and skateboarding and just, going to Walmart late at night and just trying to figure out what to do. We started going to shows, and specifically the Mothlight and the Odd were like 2 places we could always go because they were all ages. And we saw Jude's old band Tides, before they changed the name to Jabe, play with Pictures of Vernon and who else? Cusco, I think, an old like instrumental math rock band from Raleigh. And we saw these guys that were our age, and we saw them get up there and like do an insane job. And we had just kind of played around in our basement and stuff, and we played a show in the Save More parking lot with acoustic guitars, just like grungy, like feeling it out high school stuff. But like once we saw them like go on stage, they're around our age, the songs are really well written, the mix is really good.
Tides. Okay, yeah.
We were just like, oh my god, like this is what we need to do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And now you're playing. Jude plays in the band.
I know, it's so funny. There's still like a little part of like my 14, 15-year-old self that's like, this guy's a god. Like,
I think Jude is. Yeah.
I think he is a god.
Yeah, Jude's awesome.
I love Jude.
From there, so you got to have a drum set.
Yes.
That's pretty great. So were you the one hosting a lot of the band rehearsals since you had the drum set? Like people would just come over, drum set's already there?
It was actually Sophia also had a drum set, and my mom did not like loud noises. She was very supportive of the music thing, but she worked long hours and didn't want to come home to hear the banging of a 3-piece band that doesn't really know how to play music yet. So, we would go to Sophia's house, and her parents had this like gigantic old country home, and it was a duplex too. So that's the first show that we threw as a band. The other side of the duplex got abandoned, so we threw a show in that side of the
And
duplex.
this is in Canton?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was
That's
like
awesome.
I mean, I'm sure Canton's had house shows, but it was like, everybody in the whole town that was any bit alternative was there, and it like got
Yeah.
a little crazy, and it was super
And
fun.
was this anywhere from here?
Anywhere from here, and Jabe played, and Lil Connie and Wolfie played,
That's cool.
and then Tongues of Fire played too. It was just
All in this
like
house show in Canton, and
Yeah.
the acoustic guitars were long gone.
they were long gone.
And you guys went electric at this point.
We were covering Joyce Manor.
Yeah.
And, Sophia was tapping all over the place on guitar.
And you're playing drums in this too. And
Yeah.
I've seen a long time ago anywhere from here.
Yeah.
And it's not simple music.
It was scary to play, honestly, because nowadays I'm like, back then I was like, I'm just gonna drum on pure like emotion and energy and like no finesse, and it was so fun. But like, yeah, it was. Sophia would bring me a song and I'd be like, what do I do over this? Like, I've been drumming for like 6 months. Like, you're tapping all over the place. Like,
That's awesome.
it was super fun.
Yeah, it's to kind of build, to do something in Canton, inspired by stuff you saw at the Mothlight. Go to Canton, have the duplex opportunity.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Throw a show, and then I'm sure there was like a good crowd there.
It was sick, yeah.
Yeah.
It was great. I mean, it got to the point to where Sophia's parents came over and were like, y'all gotta like, because people were hanging around after and stuff.
Yeah.
And they were just like, get everybody out of here.
If the parents aren't coming over to tell you to cut it out,
Yeah.
then you're not doing it right.
You didn't throw a successful show.
You do it right. Well, that's great. And Sophia plays in the current lineup.
Yeah. Sophia plays guitar.
Tombstone Poetry. That's great.
She also does backing vocals and sometimes screams, harkening back to the Anywhere From Here days.
Yeah, that's great.
She does all the screams on the record.
That's awesome. And so from there, more of your origin story. I'm curious what the transition into Tombstone Poetry was like. So you have Anywhere From Here. You're playing shows. I've done flyers for Anywhere From Here, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
I remember
And-
you did at least one or two. Yeah.
Way back.
Yeah, you did one for a free Monday for
Okay.
us with the Spiral.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spiral was cool. That was a
Very
cool band.
Very cool. So cool.
Post-punk.
And so did something happen? Was there just kind of like a hiatus that happened with Anywhere From Here? Or were you, I'm just curious what got you started writing songs and doing things under the name Tombstone Poetry?
I think I just, well, to be blunt, I think that my focus and like perspective on life changed. When I was like 17, I had like kind of a crazy near-death experience.
Oh, wow.
And it kind of rewired my brain a little bit. Kind of changed the way I listened to music, the way that I like thought about my life in a way, I guess. And that's like kind of a big origin story part of the project, because after that, I kind of started writing songs a little differently, and I started writing the first Tombstone record, which it's only on Bandcamp now, but yeah, I think with Anywhere From Here, it was like a fun project for us to just get out there and kind of hit the ground running, and we got to play some shows out of town, and we were all super excited, and we were all teenagers, but no bad blood at all. I think we just it kind of turned into something different, and we didn't really know what to do with it, and it kind of fizzled out a little bit,
Yeah. So I feel like when I first remember getting into Tombstone Poetry, I think you just started uploading songs to YouTube.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is cool. I love like just I don't think you like had a professional recording done or anything. You're just like, I'm making a YouTube channel. This is the name.
Yeah.
And I'm pushing record on the phone, and like
Exactly.
here I am playing, and I'm like,
a lot of covers too.
yeah, that's awesome.
It was fun. Yeah.
From there, how did you reach the point of like, okay, I'm ready to have like an official recording. did you have like a single that you released, or did you just come out the gate with like an EP? I can't really remember.
We recorded a whole album in Jude's garage around COVID times. And it, looking back, I don't really view it as an album now, the way that I would like try to put a record together today. It's more of like a compilation of like all the ideas I was kind of shitting out at the time. But yeah, Jude played on all of it. He produced all of it. My friend Anja, who lives in New York, she was like the big breakthrough part of us like having a distinct sound, because she's just a crazy synth player, and it like kind of, I don't know, it took these like indie rock songs to like this weirder psychedelic
That's
place,
awesome.
Yeah, I think the first song we dropped was the song Passenger, which is the oldest song still up on our Spotify, and it's very like Dinosaur Jr.-y, just like fuzz guitar, kind of twangy vocals.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got quite the evolution of stuff, and I've got some notes here too.
Sweet.
So yeah, you mentioned Dinosaur Jr. Were there any other like obvious influences back with those early collection of songs?
Built to Spill
Built to
all
Spill.
day is like especially for the early stuff.
Yeah.
Like Doug Marsh is like one of my favorite guitarists ever.
Yeah.
And just the way that he can blend like twangy indie stuff with like dissonance, I think is so huge for me in the way I write chord progressions. Him, and of course early Modest Mouse, all the like big indie bands, Pavement. I mean, I like some Guided by Voices back then too. Yeah, any of those kind of grungy indie bands were huge for me.
What about non-grungy indie bands?
Well,
Is there anything out of left field? Something you're like sneaking in there?
yeah, I mean, I've always been a really big fan of like abstract hip hop.
Yeah.
And I think like it doesn't exactly inform the instrumentation that I'm going for, but the lyrical creativity and imagery, like Earl Sweatshirt and Mike and MF Doom and all those guys who just kind of paint a giant picture, like with their lyricism, were really inspiring.
I feel like
to me.
Majority of the tempos on the recent record kind of have I can kind of groove into them like I would some abstract hip hop.
That's cool. I like
Especially
that.
the first track,
The Lord.
Yeah, that one just like makes me want to.
Yeah, Jude kind of murdered that drum part.
Speaking of Jude, I want to hear more about the band. I know it's kind of a amorphous blob of players and all that, but I'd love to hear kind of your rundown of the core players, and then anybody else that needs mentioning. And
yeah.
I want to know everybody involved. I think everything I've heard on the record is just so stellar. Like I hear all the different instruments, and I hear everybody executing them extremely well.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm super proud of everybody that I play with. So it's Maddie Kendrick plays bass for us. Really great bassist, just really intuitive, and I don't know, always hits a run where I'm like, hell yeah. Then of course Jude on drums, who is a powerhouse and plays them so hard in a way that I love so much, but also has a lot of finesse. And then Sophia with the backing vocals and lead guitar. And I think that she's really important to things because she just approaches writing leads in a way that I don't think I would. Like, she's very like twinkly and always putting something very pretty, but also knows when to like rock out and kind of have a lot of feedback going. And I think that's a really interesting part of how the record sounds.
Does she learn your parts? Because there's a lot of picking on the most recent record, and sometimes it's in unison. It's like acoustic, but also a layer of electric. And I'm just curious if like Sophia also learns your
Not
parts.
usually. No,
So
she
it's
usually writes like an harmonic kind
Okay.
of part over
Yeah.
it. We've been doing a little bit more of that recently with like just her like finding voicings for to put over top of what I'm playing. But yeah, there's her, and of course she can scream like a banshee, like a death metal vocalist. Honestly, like she I've watched her like scream along to Black Dahlia Murder songs in the car and just nail it. But I think that's also cool because there's a lot of points on the record where we just have like a scream layered really really low in the mix, and it's like it's not in the forefront, but it adds this like weird thing in the background. Like on Traction Control, she screamed every line of that song, and we just like buried it.
Yeah, that was in my notes.
Yeah.
I was like, "What's up with that second layer in the second verse?"
Well, shit, we got to it.
Yeah.
And then Anja played keys on every track. Insanely good musician. Like, oh my god, like she's a prodigy. And yeah, she's just always kind of approached keys in a way where like if she needs to shred, she will, but she also like is really really textural and plays with the full pedal board and like does a lot of noise stuff for transitions and stuff, which I think kind of pans out the live set a lot. And then Zoe Eschen, he is a fiddle player and played on 3 tracks on the record, but now plays pretty much every show with us.
That's
and
great.
He's just like insane, can play like Irish folk music perfectly, and just like, but also like putting him in the context of like power pop, like country shit is like really interesting because he always finds like some cool weird thing to do over it. And then finally, Will Elliott, the pedal steel player on the record, who also plays with us a lot nowadays, who is also incredible. He's a little prodigy in his own right. He can play mandolin, he can flat pick on acoustic. He's just wild.
How many people is that? 6 total?
I think other than me, yeah. And then there's also Mouse Alderson, my roommate, who is also our producer.
Okay.
And
I was about to mention that too. Yeah, your producer that also did, I think, other recordings, right?
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
CPs and things.
Yeah, they've worked on a lot of records at this point. They work at Drop of Sun on Haywood, and they're just kind of like, I don't know, we have like a very deep musical connection, and like I just trust them with the music a lot. Like I remember one day I came home from work and they like had been hashing out this aux percussion part for one of the songs on the record for like 3 hours, and they were sampling a piece of paper sliding across the table and like a pencil, and I was like, yo, and it sounded cool. So I was like, let's keep it.
Let's keep it. Yeah. From there, we're at the point of the most recent record. How could I be so in debt?
Yes.
And what does that title mean to you? I know it stems from one of the later songs on the album.
Yeah.
But what made you go with that title for the record?
I just think it's like an intense, cathartic record, and especially for me, of course, because I wrote it. But yeah, it's just it's about debt in a lot of ways. Debt to people, falling out with friends, and just hoping they're doing all right, and feeling like that weird sense of responsibility, but knowing you can't like live their life for them. Debt to the world with all the shit going on nowadays, and just the humanitarian crises going on everywhere, and being in this weird bubble of living in like this strange like country town, you know.
Hyper tourism,
yeah,
by this country, and
exactly. And also debt to yourself to take care of yourself and do better and grow.
Yeah, it's a heavy record, and parts of it, I mean, it was released before Helene.
Yeah.
But there's parts of it, I mean, the cover and some of the lyrics and some of the songs that feel kind of like ominous. I mean, I don't know if you've made that kind of connection or whatever.
Oh, I've totally thought
it's
about
like,
it.
Like,
we started the rollout for it before Helene, but it dropped in the midst of it.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do anything about it. Like,
yeah.
And I was just kind of like, we've already dropped 3 singles. It's coming out. Like, I don't have Wi-Fi right now to really promote this. And I was like, shit. Like, so we did like all digital sales on Bandcamp to like Beloved for a while and stuff, just because I was like, this is like the worst, weirdest time to drop an album ever. but everybody that played on this record is being affected by this
Yeah.
too. So like, I guess let's just get it out and like
Yeah.
move on. You
Yeah,
know?
no, it is as it should be. Like
Yeah.
that's just the timing of it. And then I can imagine it is kind of odd, like to have everything going on with Helene and then be like, also new album drop. You know? It's like,
it was like already set up on DistroKid and everything. I did the whole dance.
Yeah, it's like, are you safe? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm doing good. Make sure to check out the new album.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it was
Let's
like,
get it up to 1,000 plays, y'all.
Yeah, come on, y'all, run it up.
Run it up. Man, I feel like this album, now that it's been out for a while, and you said you worked on it for a long time, so now that it's out, and I think you even released some new songs on a split release that came out not too long ago. Like, are you starting to feel a different way of viewing it now that you're kind of removed from like the writing, the production, and you guys produced this fast too, or not fast, but condensed. It was like a lot of like, I think I heard somewhere like 3 days in Drops of Sun.
We tracked like the majority of the record in 3 days, which was just ridiculous. I mean, it was 12-hour days every single day. We were just drinking the entire time and just debauchery. I think Jude and Maddie finished the rhythm section in 8 hours, and we live tracked the entire rhythm section.
Nice.
And because we had just been playing these songs for years and years. Like most of our sets at that point consisted of like 6 or 7 songs off the album and maybe 2 that were actually out. So everybody was like on the same page and knew exactly what we were doing and firing on all cylinders. And then we did like 1 extra day for like violin and pedal steel overdubs, and that was like,
that makes a lot of sense that you'd already been playing them live. And so pretty much all of the songs on the record, you've played them live, or you do play them live. Are there any songs on the record that were just only on the record?
We've played every single song that shows up. But I think the one we play the least is Purity. Just because it's really hard to pull off and honestly kind of annoying to play on guitar. I will say some of the guitar parts are very heavy on finger picking and stuff. Like the twinkly ending is just like, if I'm not locked in, I'll mess it up every single time.
I'm going to turn the delay pedal on for this one.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Hope it doesn't amplify my mistake either.
It's just a wash of stuff. And I enjoyed listening through the record. We had scheduled this a while back, and then kind of hyperfixated on it. And then it made me kind of like, I love giving art a good, listen through, or music a good listen through, and kind of get real, dig my teeth into stuff. But then I'm like, I don't want to put Caelan on the spot. You know what I mean?
No, I enjoy it.
I don't want to be like, because sometimes like, you write music just it's flowing out of you. The lyrics and songs, there's a vague story, and it's just coming out, and it's not like, oh, this happened in my life, therefore I make this into lyrics. And all
totally.
That. But I have a lot of questions, or not a lot, but just cool things that stuck out to me that I'd love to learn more about on the record, through each song. I'd love to just go through my notes, kind of track by track, little things that came up that seemed of interest to me that I'd love to learn more about.
Heck yeah, that sounds awesome. That's what I'm into.
Yeah, it's cool to have this series to shine light on a deeper level from all the artists I get to work with, and like for anybody else that wants to geek out over your material, they can like sink their teeth into this kind of deep lore. Like somebody that comes across you from seeing you live on tour or whatever, they'll go and listen to the album, and maybe they get another recommended video of the deep dive into the album. And that just keeps them, something really deliver something for the audience or people who really enjoy the music.
Totally.
That's always kind of been the basis of Mythic merch, is to make things for the fans.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I'm kicking you out now.
Oh, no. Not my 8 p.m. alarm going off. That's my oh shit alarm. That's when I take a nap after work and it goes way too far.
If it goes off at 8 p.m., like that just what's it saving you from?
I don't know, dude. Usually when it happens, I just wake up and I'm like, what?
I guess so, because then you don't want to keep sleeping and then be wide awake at like 3 a.m. when
Yeah.
you have a shift the next day or something.
Try to stay up for like 3 or 4 hours after that and then go to bed at 12.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
It never works
Yeah.
though.
That's funny though. You just have it every day at 8 p.m. it goes off.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I work morning shifts now and I'm so prone to just like, I'll come home from a morning shift and just nap for way too long.
Yeah.
And I don't want to lose an entire day.
Yeah.
Maybe I should change it to 7 though. I don't know. 8's a little intense.
No, at 8 p.m. That's a good time. It's just funny. Just I've never seen anybody do that before. I just have like now I'm really curious. The album I'm not curious about anymore. Yeah. I need to know about this. When did you start doing the 8 p.m. emergency oh shit alarm?
Probably about a month into this new job because I was taking a nap like every day. Okay. And yeah, I would wake up at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And after falling asleep at like 5 after I'd eat and just like in a stupor and a daze, and it would completely throw everything off.
That makes sense though, because you're usually playing gigs at night or out at other people's gigs and stuff. So you're out late and then probably getting 5-6 hours of sleep and then doing this job.
Exactly.
and then it catches up to you.
That's what happened today. Thankfully, I was up by 6 and I was able to.
Yeah. The 8 p.m. oh shit alarm.
Yeah, you gotta have it. I love it in this industry.
All right, now the alarm's gone off.
Yep.
We can do the deep dive into how can I be so in debt.
Let's do it.
First track, The Lord. It's got this great groove. Makes me want to. It feels like this alternative. It's not obviously the tone is not an alternative hip hop song.
Yeah.
But the thing it makes me my body move kind of like one. The tempo and the groove.
The groove is like a couple hi-hat placements away from being a trap beat.
Yeah.
Like
thanks, Jude.
Yeah, like if Jude was a little more busy on the hats, I think it would be pretty much.
He's resisting it.
Yeah.
He's wanting it. What made you want to have that be the opening track, or if anything, how did it find its way to being the opening track?
I think probably the first lyric, honestly. Like, nothing keeps my attention this year. I was just like, there you go. Like, mission statement. And I think that combined with like the little pedal steel swell into it and how it just sort of immediately drops was like, this will work. Yeah.
And was this one of the songs the band had been playing a lot?
Oh, yeah. I've been working on this song in particular. I think it was maybe the oldest one on the record. I think I wrote this song when I was like 18 or 19, and I just could never find a way to make it work.
Yeah.
But we started playing it live in like 2022. And I think what made it eventually make sense to me was writing the like instrumental outro. Because at first it was just like the like, I think 3 or 4 verses. And then I was like, where does it go from here? You know, like I need a chorus or something. And I don't like writing choruses. So usually I just write something dissonant and weird that you can jam on at the end.
No, it's definitely like, if I ever have to explain to my Meemaw, like different bands I'm working with, this is like, you have to give them the elevator's pitch or something that's not going to be, they love Guided by Voices and Built to Spill.
Yeah.
Meemaw don't know that. I'd be like, I don't even know if Meemaw will quite get this reference, but she might. It's like, yeah, Meemaw, I'm working with this band, Tombstone Poetry. It's like Leonard Skinner meets like Radiohead.
That's so awesome.
Because it's like, yeah, Radiohead does this. Like, kind of has like the song in one part and then the kind of this like stretched out outro of craziness, and I'm like, you know who else does this? Leonard Skinner. Freebird.
And Tuesday's Gone.
It's kind of opposite though, right? They have a song and then they have like this other half of the song. Something different that the band just gets to like go off.
Oh yeah, well, I love In Rainbows, so it's like top 5 for me.
Yeah, I like it. So we got They Loved You Here.
Yeah.
That song. Obviously about someone passing.
Yeah, it's about my great-grandfather.
Great-grandfather.
And a lot of my songs aren't very like direct, but this is like one of the only songs I've written that's like clearly about something. Like the entire song is about something.
Yeah.
It's
a very, very sweet, very beautiful song.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I liked it a lot. And that seems to be kind of a theme, obviously, on the record is this kind of loss, grief, death. It sounds like death of loved ones. And you mentioned your near-death experience that kind of stemmed the whole project in a way.
Yeah.
And if you're open, I'd be curious to know more about that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, just to be frank, I like flipped my car going like 60 miles an hour coming home from a show when I was like 17.
Wow.
And I had like a full like thing of cymbals that were loose in the car and drums, and I didn't have a scratch on me. And the car like landed upside down, completely totaled it. I mean, it was like insane. Like I totally should have died, but I didn't. And now I got to write songs about death.
Yeah, no. Well, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, I'm glad I am too.
And you were by yourself.
Yeah.
And so you weren't without a scratch, and then you were able to make phone calls and things and get out of the car.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, it was super surreal. It felt like whenever you start like a post-apocalyptic video game or something, and there's just like rubble all around you and shit. It was like Fallout.
Yeah.
But
and so were some of these songs still kind of inspired by that event, or I mean, you probably just carry it.
I think I do subconsciously carry it. Maybe not as much with these songs. More so, the first record was like very direct. Like, I mean, the opening song is called "Crash," and it's just about it. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, from there too. I mean, I don't know what your upbringing is like, but I know with those situations, like family can get loved ones and close ones who might be religious can get really weird when it comes to like surviving crashes and
yeah, totally.
I don't know if you experienced anything like that, or your family was just probably just happy.
I think they were just happy,
yeah,
honestly. And I mean, my family is pretty religious, but they were just like, oh my God, like, I'm so glad you're okay. But the weirdest part about it was my mom woke up 10 minutes before it happened, which was really strange.
Yeah.
And she doesn't like wake up through the night ever.
Yeah.
So I don't know, dude. It's kind of warped my brain a little bit, the whole situation. But
yeah, no, when I wake up in the middle of the night, I'm always kind of like, is this an omen? Not all the time. Sometimes it's just like, the dog like got up and barked at something. But sometimes I'll be up and I'm like, gosh, am I about to get the phone call of something? Or I don't know. Or
totally.
Or is this? I don't know.
It is a strange feeling.
Well, yeah. I'm glad you're here.
Thanks, dude.
I'm
glad we can do this.
I'm glad you're here and you survived and without a scratch and
pretty crazy.
And you're still hitting the road.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You got no fear now. Or maybe you probably do.
I mean, now I really don't. I mean, I was petrified of driving for a while, if you can imagine. But yeah, no, I mean, truly, I used to be so afraid to tour and stuff like that. But now it's just like once I'm out there, like we'll figure it out one step at a time, you know?
Yeah, especially if you're like in a crowded. I don't know what your automobiles are like for touring. Is it like
crowded as hell?
Crowded.
Yeah, we toured. We just did 15 shows in a Subaru Forester as a 5-piece we just had like a roof rack on top. Yeah. And I mean, if we had one more item, we would have been screwed.
Yeah.
Like, but Old Star, the band, shout out Old Star.
Old Star.
The band we did all the dates with, other than Clemson, we missed them. But they were super helpful, and they brought like a van. They brought like a Ford Econoline, and like the first show in Nashville with them, like we were holding stuff in our laps the entire drive, and we're like, if we can just make it, we can put stuff in their van, and we'll be okay.
And I don't know if that's the tour where you had hoodies printed. Good.
Yeah, it was.
Somebody's like cursing the hoodies. Like,
yeah.
Why the hell do we have hoodies on this tour? Because that's something like I try to warn bands about. Yeah. Like they're just like, we need like we're gonna do like 20 hoodies. I'm like, you really don't want to do any hoodies.
Yeah.
if you're a touring band, because hoodies take up so much space.
They really do. There's only so much you can squash down with hoodies.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they ended up doing great for us, though. We sold out of them on that tour. That was sweet. Well, I mean, they're such a good money maker, like for like gas and stuff. Hate to be blunt, it's not always about that, but you know, we're not coming out like champions after this.
Well, it's it's an offering for the fans is what we have to remember.
Yes, even if it's got to stay in my lap for the
Yeah.
first drive.
I'm holding it on the way to the venue.
Sweating bullets.
Yeah, I want to know more about the previous tour and the upcoming tours after we get done talking about the record for sure.
Let's do it.
And that's just a funny image of holding
things
in your lap.
It was a crazy little start. Everybody was like, are we even going to be able to pull this off? We started packing, and I was like, oh, shit. I fear I've bit off more than I can chew.
I guess Jude can sit in Sophie's lap.
Yeah, pretty much.
You got... we were talking about you were driving out here and you like the cows, and I didn't want to be a complete nerd and be like, oh, like calves. You like the ghost of calves.
Yeah,
Ghost of calves.
Yeah.
Was this is this another song that had been chewing on for years and the band had been playing?
It was actually probably one of the more recent ones that I had written by the time we went in the studio. Yeah, this is the one song on the record that lyrically I cannot make heads or tails of why I wrote it. Like, I have no clue.
Yeah, it's an interesting like story in a way. It's very like literary, and it reminds me of something. I don't know. Like, do you read literature? Do you like have like actual poets and stuff that you read or anything? Or it's.
I love Townes Van Zandt and John Prine, and I love Bob Dylan and David Berman and Joni Mitchell and all those folk people who could just kind of weave a tale. I'm not as big of a reader. I just don't have the attention span for it. But I think that's more the inspiration was just like, I rarely find myself able to write about something that's not personal, but that song is completely like just removed from me.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool story that it's telling. It's kind of like, something's wrong about going on. Like I thought maybe the song is about somebody getting the news of someone passing and they're taking it in, or it's like, is this divorce dad rock? Like,
it kind of is divorce dad rock.
I'm kind of glad you brought up that you can't make heads or tails of it, because I was gonna try to be like, is this what it's about? Is this what about? And you're gonna be like, actually, I like that interpretation. Yeah.
I do. I like your theories because Lord knows I need some.
I think it's like a hardworking man, and he's reflecting on his work, on where he's at. Yeah. And then I not like to think, but I imagine I feel terrible trying to interpret a song, but and maybe he's realized like why he's drinking a lot, and that's why she left. And he's like, he's like, it's this dang, you don't go blaming the beer, Sorry, I know this is a really serious song and it's in depth, but if you said you can't make heads or tails of it, then that's kind of
I love it.
He's sitting there with his hams, and he's just like, the hams will never leave me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I saw a lot of people like that growing up where I did, so maybe that's part of it.
Sure.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true too. Like, you've kind of seen that archetype out and about, and maybe it's just a culmination of that imagery that you've kind of witnessed before, and it's kind of this collage of those moments. And but also, what is the time signature to this thing? Is it syncopated, or am I losing my mind?
I think it's 4.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 1. Yeah, I think it's 4.
Okay.
It's just got kind of a weird little picky swing to it.
It's on the next beat or something about it. Yeah. But I like that. That was cool.
Heck yeah, thanks.
I'll probably say that with a lot of songs. Like, that's cool. That's cool.
Thanks, dude.
It's cool.
I'll take it.
The next one, I have a little drawing of the this
is like the first rocker.
Yeah, this is the rocker, man.
Yeah, this is the first single.
This goes off at the bars, man. This is what the work is for.
Yeah.
I was like, bar song live ? Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, I don't know when you play this in your set live. Is it toward the middle, end, or do you guys kick off with this?
Sometimes depending on the vibe of the set, we rarely ever play the same set order. I love to just switch things up, but Yeah, whenever we like, if we open for like punkier bands, then we love to kick off with
That's
this
smart,
song
yeah.
and just get the energy going
Yeah.
immediately, and then drown them in sadness in the middle of the set and slow tempos. But yeah, no, this song is like super fun to play live. It's
Yeah, and this one, you've had other releases that kind of mention things about trying to do things in more moderation, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And is this kind of one of those songs where you're kind of hinting at those themes again of not falling asleep on the kitchen floors anymore?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's about growth, I guess.
Growth,
It's
yeah.
just like trying to recognize, and in my own cynical writing style, it maybe not might not come or come across like this, but it is somewhat of a positive song to me. It's in a major key too, which doesn't happen often.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's a great song.
Thanks, dude.
It got the
Yeah,
little
I like
emoji
that.
from me.
I like that.
Hell yeah, brother. This one, the next one after that, I just wrote ominous underline
Yeah.
because of I just thinking about the cover art and Helene recently, and it's sometimes you don't get a choice.
Yeah.
I know it was released and written before Helene, but for some reason I just kept thinking, and also just the sound of the
Yeah.
instruments and what's going on just reminds
It's
me
murky.
and all that, and I don't know, what was kind of going on when you first wrote it, and then I don't know if you had similar things like I'm experiencing in retrospect of Helene with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it was a similar feeling that I had when I wrote this song as I did during Helene, and that was just like just living in kind of a shithole and like feeling trapped and feeling weird in my own city, I think.
Yeah.
And of course it has the water imagery in the lyrics too, which hammers that home, that connection. But yeah, this is another one that took a while to put together because it's just one of those songs where there's like 3 different parts that could be parts of different songs. And I think that's like collage based songwriting was big for me on this record. Like I would have 2 different riffs and I'd be like, how can I combine these to like make the song have different passages or whatever.
Yeah. And then the title track, How Could I Be So in Debt?
Yeah, this is like the fuck you portion of the record in terms of being happy.
So yeah, we got some happy moments, or not totally fuck you energy with They Loved You Here, Ghost of Calves, What the Workers For. Sometimes you don't get a choice, but now we've gone full on.
Yeah.
We've gone full on fuck you.
Yeah.
Okay.
These are the songs that I don't like to play live anymore.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Specifically this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just want to know what stemmed the whole fuck you energy with these songs.
I think just like being angry with myself.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like now I'm in a better place where like my songwriting doesn't really stem from that as much. It's more realism, but these were like intensely cynical, cathartic to play, but like it's like me filtering the worst thoughts that I have onto songs. And especially this song too is really hard to sing live, and I have to scream, and it's just like I don't like to play it sometimes. We did it recently, but
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I'm sweating.
Yeah, that is an interesting thing with songwriting. It is like, everything going on in your head and emotions, and like you have the outlet.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
it is, and like you're so thankful for it, and it's rock and rolling. It's out and about, and people are hearing it and reacting
Yeah.
to it, and you're finally able to scream it from the rooftops, and then things cool down
Yeah.
after a while, and then it's like you look back and like, okay, all right, like okay,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, that's interesting that you. Do you feel like with your next release, you're kind of going to phase that stuff out from the live set, unless?
I think we already have a little bit. Like we're playing a show tomorrow, and the set is like half new stuff, and then like 4 songs from this record. But yeah, I mean, it'll come back around. I like having a back catalog. Like every time we learn a new song, I get excited because I'm like, there's a new one that we can just kind of throw into the rotation. You know, I try not to like be too cynical about the past stuff because I think there's a lot of that goes on where it's like we won't even play songs off this record, and, you know, but
it'll never happen again.
But you know, at one point I connected to it in a really real way, so I think that it always comes back around. You know,
I really like the synth and steel work on that. Like there's like a top layer of it going on that I really liked a lot. And then there's also like a bit crust drum sound in there.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious, like was that something Mouse brought up or wanted to do, or is that something you were like, it's got to have bit crust drums in this section?
Yeah, no, it was a Mouse took the reins with that. I think we both were like, this song just needs to be like the most blown out sounding song on the record in general. Like that was totally the approach. Is like, this is the heaviest song on the record. Let's just make it sound insane.
Love it. It's awesome. And then we have, speaking of fuck you energy, the title alone, Menace. Menace. Yeah. That's the, I wrote on here, driving song.
Yeah, it has that kind of beat to it, I guess. Driving down the highway late at night.
Menace. What's the story behind Menace?
Menace is just it's a pretty simple song about paranoia, I think. It's another one that I don't really connect to lyrically as much. I think that one and What the Work Is For actually just funny because they're the most upbeat songs, but they're like the songs where lyrically I could really just take them or leave them. I just don't connect to them that much, but I think at the time, you know, it's just about feeling like everybody's out to get you.
I feel that sometimes.
Yeah.
Traction Control. Oh, this is the one where you had the screaming layer.
Yeah.
Like, is that something Sophia was just like, I want to do this?
No, I was like, do it.
Do it.
I was just like, this song already sounds really dark and mysterious, and let's just try it, you know, cool. And we can like reverb it out or bury it or whatever.
Yeah,
but like, why not?
Super low in the mix, but it adds a very interesting texture.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And it sounds like it's about a relationship with God or some kind of higher power, or am I wrong?
It's actually about a relationship with a friend that I had like a long time ago, and this is actually the oldest song on the record. This one was on our first record too, but I always wanted to give it a re-recording. Because me and Jude both agreed that was like the song that deserved like a re-record. I knew I wanted to put one old song on this record since we were going into like a studio to do it, you know, just really get the most out of it. But yeah, it's just about like, I don't know, like a toxic friendship where you're like anxious and kind of trying to please the person it could apply to a relationship too, but like kind of feeling like they're leading you astray, but you're so attached to them that you just keep going and putting energy in when you don't need to, I guess.
It says a lot about me. My first thought was, oh gosh, this is about the Lord.
Well, the Lord comes up on this album, so
I heard
don't
that song
blame
and
me.
I was like, oh man. So I guess I got a toxic relationship with the Lord. I need to get right.
I don't blame you, my friend.
And then the final song, Crushing Defeat. I just remember that one starts off with you going Crushing Defeat.
Yeah. I like to say that this is our party song before we play that song live, because it literally just starts with me saying Crushing Defeat. But yeah.
What's the story behind that song?
Crushing Defeat is just a miserable song. It's the title. The title speaks for itself. It's just kind of pummeling and gross, and I just wanted it to feel kind of, I guess, like the verse progression is like the most disgusting thing I think I've written on guitar, and it doesn't make sense, and then the chorus progression is like one of my favorite like pretty twinkly progressions, so I wanted to have this kind of juxtaposition. And
yeah, whereas other songs seem to start off in a more leveled area and then they get more distorted and abstract. This one kind of starts off kind of just grimy, gross, and then kind of eases up.
Exactly.
The storm kind of, it comes into a more sunny day, I guess.
Sunny day.
That's a cool way to end the record too, because if you think about it, like it's a nice way to kind of ease back into to something that's not as crushing and crazy.
Yeah, yeah. And I love the ending. The ending is maybe my favorite moment on the
Yeah.
record, like the post-rocky build up at the end. Sophia hits that really big like tremolo guitar solo, and it's like weirdly triumphant in a way, you know? Like I love to end on a sad note, but I think it was like it just made sense when I heard it, you know?
Yeah, well, that's cool. That's awesome. That is the record.
That
This
is the record.
deep dive.
Deep dive.
And now that we've learned that you're getting away from your fuck you era
Yeah, yeah.
into new territory,
Yeah.
or not fuck you territory.
Yeah. Well, you know, some of the songs might be a little fuck you, but not nearly as intense as this album.
That's great. And so you guys toured recently with
Old Star.
Old Star,
Country
repping the
rock
Old Star.
from Florida for everyone.
And that went well.
That went great. It was
Yeah.
super fun. I mean, you know, it was a 15-day DIY tour, so some of the shows were like not anything crazy, but overall it was a pretty incredible experience.
When it comes to tours, are you booking them? Are you emailing everybody,
Yeah.
and then, or sometimes does other like Old Star have dates, or you kind of had them?
I booked
tag along?
every show,
Yeah.
just because it was during Helene, and I finally got Wi-Fi back. I was staying with
Yeah.
my parents, and I was like, I need a project right now so bad. So us and Old Star had talked about hitting dates, and I was like, Zane had talked about wanting to do like 2 weeks together, and I was like, I'm on it.
I'm sorry, we skipped over Purity.
Oh yeah.
Because you brought up your parents, and that was something on Purity. I wanted to know if your parents have heard that song.
They have, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of another reason why I don't like to play it live as much.
Yeah.
It's kind of the most personal one. But yeah, that song's just about growing up and kind of finding your own way and being afraid of disappointing your parents and maybe struggling with substance abuse a little bit
Yeah.
and confiding in them about that,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, that's that one song. You brought up your parents. I was like, oh, I wonder if they've heard this, or is
Yeah, I don't think they like to listen to that one as much, but
Yeah, and that's a whole nother thing too with like songwriting is kind of facing relationships that you have with people, and it comes with misinterpretations or
Yeah.
or what have you. I don't know if you have a significant other, but sometimes it's probably, odd to write certain things and they're in the next room. And it's
yeah,
just like,
yeah.
And then I don't know.
I've definitely experienced that in the past, for sure.
You have like roommates and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Do they hear you? Like, I'm curious when you're writing lyrics, what that process is like. I know some people, they write when they're in the room with the band and it's so loud that nobody really.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody's worried about playing their instruments. They're not worried about what you're singing, and you're
Mm-hmm.
able to figure out stuff. But I'm kind of curious what your process is when it comes to your vocals and your lyrics and things, how you write.
It depends. I kind of try to treat songwriting like a job in a way. And I mostly just write on acoustic. And a lot of the times for lyrics nowadays, I'll just get a voice memo going. I'll have a chord progression and I'll just vent what's on my mind and improv stuff until I find something and then build off of that. But usually just acoustic. Some songs I write in my head completely, which is very rare, but I've had it a couple times in my life, and it's just like intense boredom just at work or something just leads me to like going down this rabbit hole, and then I have to sing the vocal melody into my voice memos in the bathroom and go home and figure out what to play over it. But mostly just acoustic, and I've got roommates, but I don't really just be singing whenever they're at home, you know, unless we're all drunk and on the porch playing guitars and doing covers. But no, mostly just acoustic, and I try to write like 3 songs a week.
Oh wow,
is what I try to do.
Yeah,
and usually I end up not using like 70 to 80% of them, but yeah,
it's a ratio game, it's a numbers game.
Yeah.
So you're probably have demos of a whole nother album or close to it.
I've got 2 records written for Tombstone right now, and I'm working on another one for my other project, and I got a solo record.
That's awesome.
I'm excited.
That is great.
It's just funny.
Yeah, no,
Music is just fun.
That's great. so happy for you that it sounds like it just flows through you, and you're kind of just trying to keep up.
It's just a hyperfixation. I'm so damn ADD, and that's been like my thing for so long.
Yeah.
Like I just think, and I put together track lists in my notes app, and then I rearrange them, and then I cut songs before they're even recorded, and just
that's great.
All this shit.
I love to hear that because it's I always feel for some of the some band. I talk to everybody I print for and see where they're at, different things like that. And I talk to some bands, and I hate those seasons some people go through where they're just like, we did this massive tour and now we can't figure out anything to write, or we're not sure. We finished the record and maybe we're just taking a lull breather after we did all this writing, and then it's like, well, the lulls kind of existed too long now.
Totally.
Gosh, like
I'm definitely thankful that I'm just able to find inspiration pretty constantly. I think
that's great,
and I just have such a love for it, and I study songwriting. That's also why I wanted to do this too, is like if like I was like a fan of someone's songwriting, this is the kind of thing that I would want to watch, because I nerd out about songwriting and I like the deep dive, and
It's interesting you say that, because I feel like this record it follows not conventional quote unquote songwriting as far as like I guess I'm thinking more like pop songwriting, where you have it doesn't really have like choruses and things. It has arcs and all that. So it's interesting that you do you feel like your next batch of releases are more formal song structures, or are they continuing to be these arcs of moments, I guess?
It's I think there's a little bit of both. I think I'm able to write more in a pop structure now than I ever have, but I still there's going to be a brazen instrumental passage that comes out of nowhere, and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, so I would love to talk more about songwriting.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about the record, but if you seem very adamant and obviously just are flowing with songwriting ideas, what keeps you like inspired about songwriting? Like, what do you like to go out on hikes and things and come back and songwrite, or you were just strictly like reflecting, or is it just?
It's a lot of reflection. Sometimes it's just like a phrase will get stuck. Just driving around is always inspiring to me. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example. Oh yeah, there was a song I couldn't figure out what to name it. And then I was driving around and I saw this old guy just sitting like on top of a hill, and he was watching a brush fire that he built burn down. And I was like, I'll call it brush fire.
Brush fire. There it is. Duh.
Yeah.
Brush fire.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna call it.
But
and do you mention brush fire in the song at all, or do you?
There's lyrics about things burning down.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool. But yeah, no, I get inspiration from just like, I just get hyper fixated on certain artists really, really hard. And then I feel like I'll get into a mode where I'm so into someone, and I'll kind of rip them off like 5 times in a row until I find out how to be inspired by them in a way that's still me.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Who are some of the most recent hyper fixations you've had, different artists that you really got into and tried to kind of not necessarily rip off, but absorb and make part of your thumbprint?
I think, like, honestly, as insufferable as it is to say, I finally came around on Bob Dylan, and I got super into him. And I mean, there's some songs that I wrote in that period that were like, have you seen Walk Hard?
Yeah.
It's
the blind monkey in the elevator coming down the mountain.
I had to like sober up from the high for a little bit and like figure out what I actually wanted out of it. Yeah. But Bob Dylan, Ryan Davis and the Roadhouse Band, they're a band out of, I believe, Louisville, and they're incredible. They're just so freaky, like alt country mixed with electronic, and the lyrics are insane and out there, and it's like super fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, Bob Dylan, he's got such a catalog.
Oh yeah.
Did you see the movie?
I did.
With Timothy
Chalamet. I did indeed.
Did you like it? I haven't seen it. I don't, and you can spoil it. I mean, he's spoiling all biography.
So guess what? Believe it or not, he plays a show.
He goes electric. Oh, why didn't you tell me that?
People freak out. But no, I did see it. I thought it was okay. I enjoyed it because I'm a fan, and it was fun to see Timothée Chalamet play all these songs. But it was. I felt like he is an asshole a little bit, but he was even more made into this like caricature of like cool guy always smoking a cigarette. Like he's so strange and he's bad to his girlfriend, but it's okay because he's cool. And it's like, shut up, dude.
Who would play you in the Tombstone Poetry movie?
I don't know. Matthew Lillard.
Yeah.
I just watched SLC Punk for the first time. So
really?
Yeah, dude. That's a great movie.
Yeah, that movie is very near and dear to my heart. I used to parents would take me by a movie gallery like Blockbuster or whatever every Friday night, and they finally gave up on like the ratings or trying to check everything I was renting.
Yeah.
So then I just had a free for all. I would just start renting whatever.
That's awesome.
Because they would have the boxes now behind the actual boxes, and it was just like a blank Blockbuster.
Yeah.
With just the name on it. But I remember watching SLC Punk at an early age, and I just loved the whole monologue of like what punk is.
Yeah.
And I
was when he's in the mall.
Yeah, and it has a lot of definitions according to different people. Like, oh, punk's a fashion statement. Oh, punk's this kind of movement. Whatever.
And the posers.
Yeah, and the posers.
People who talk with a British accent.
Yeah, because I went to school with a guy that was going through like a skinhead phase, but not the racist skinhead, which had to be clarified or whatever.
The black flag kind.
I was like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
But he played in a band, like I was 15 and he was like 17, and he played in a band at an all ages venue and stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
Called Korova, which is the name of something out of Clockwork Orange.
Oh, okay.
The Korova.
I've never seen it.
Drink or milk bar or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. The R was in the shape of a gun.
Oh,
I love
awesome.
it. Like,
yeah.
I loved this band and I loved everything he was about. And this guy was like, he just stayed in character.
Yeah.
It was mean to me and my friends. And I watched SLC Punk and I was like, oh, he's got
that's
nothing.
this guy. Yeah.
He's got nothing on me and my friends.
Yeah.
I was always the what's his name? Jason Segel.
Yeah. Heroin Bob.
No. I was a polo guy. Still kind of.
Oh yeah.
Still kind of am. Like,
God, I love that guy.
I'm still kind of that guy, but I'll throw hands in the mosh pit. Let's
go,
whatever. But yes, great movie. I'm glad you got to see it. Yeah. Let's see. So we were talking about SLC Punk before our little break.
Yep.
And then something else. I think we're just talking about future endeavors with Tombstone Poetry.
Yeah.
So you've got this whole catalog because you've been blessed by the inspiration gods. While the rest of us are down here just in a drought.
Thank you, Bob Dylan.
I'm trying to squeeze just to make a guitar sample into a whole song, a 2-minute song if I can make it. Meanwhile,
get the loops going.
Caelan's like, I got to run to the bathroom and do a voice memo. You probably wrote 4 fucking albums since you've been over here, just going to my bathroom alone.
Yeah.
And you'll be on somebody else's podcast years later and be like, yeah, I wrote most of this album when I was doing the podcast over at Joey's house. I just kept jumping up and using the bathroom, and inspiration just hit.
Oh my God. Yeah, who knows?
Do you think? So yeah, now this is just like a Tombstone Poetry song. This had a lot of structure in the first half, and now we're just going to go off the rails, which is great. I think that'd be fun.
I think that's fun.
Anyone listening for
us.
Rumor has it, though, the next album is a concept album, if I'm not mistaken. About the tale of Troy and Croy.
Oh shit! Yeah. Actually, Jude Ghost wrote the whole thing. Jude and Lowell Hobbs and Eli Raymer came together.
Is it really a concept album about Troy and
Croy? No, not at all.
I don't know anything about this. I was just told to bring these up.
I'm glad you brought it up. Who told you to bring that up?
Can you guess?
Was it Jude?
No.
Was it Lowell?
No.
I don't know then. Is he?
No.
Who? Who else?
Who else? Your keyboard player.
Oh, Anja told you that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sick. Hell yeah.
I'm printing a bunch of her shirts tomorrow. So
Oh, yeah,
I
the
was
My
like,
Body with
Caelan's
Blood
gonna be
shirts?
over. What should I should fuck.
Yeah, fuck yeah. That's awesome.
What is this Troy nonsense? We must settle it.
Okay. You want to know now?
I do
Should
wanna
I
know.
reveal it? Okay.
Please.
So,
How will I understand the next album if
Yeah.
I don't know?
the whole world needs to understand this for another thing.
Exclusive.
And exclusive. I think Troy has a mystique, and it's time to make Troy a little more available to the public. Basically, it's just some stupid shit that Jude and his friends came up with in high school, and it was like somewhat of a deity, and it was kind of making fun of God, and like Troy is like always with us. Troy is always in our bodies. Troy is like the light, you know.
I feel Troy.
You can feel him in this room if you try hard enough. But yeah, and
What if I'm Troy?
dude?
What if you're Troy?
I think we're all Troy.
Oh shit, this goes deeper than I know.
I know. Yeah, it's a rabbit hole. But it basically just became a glorified accountability system where if somebody like said something and you thought it was bullshit, then you could be like, "Oh, but do you swear on Troy?" And if they were like, "Nah," then you knew they were lying. But if you broke a Troy swear, there used to be a system of punishments, and there was a Troy court that would dole out the punishments for people who broke Troy swears. In fact, Jude still has an unresolved conflict that needs to be resolved, and his punishment has been decided. So, should I?
Wait, one, what is it? Two, how was it decided, and what is the punishment?
So Jude, really drunk, swore on Troy that he would never smoke another cigarette on Anja's birthday.
DOA.
Yeah, DOA. I mean, I love Jude to death, but I wouldn't make that promise ever. And so we decided the punishment was going to be that Jude was going to go to the Asheville Mall and
Oh, that's it. That's punishment enough.
yeah, already, but with a Bluetooth speaker and a tip jar, and he was gonna play Gangnam Style and do the Gangnam Style dance.
And this was a long time after that came out.
Yes, like it's completely like just off base entirely. But we had the whole day planned, and Jude's only caveat was like, drive me there and let me drink some whiskey beforehand, and I'll do it. But
That's some short
he bailed on
commitment.
us the day that we were gonna do it. He was like, I'm too hungover.
That's the perfect time to do it.
I know.
So he's still. But how was this punishment formulated? Was this sent by Troy? Was this
This was decided by the Troy court.
the Troy court?
Yeah, which is
Okay, so
usually
they-
about six
They make
individuals.
decisions in honor of Troy.
Yeah.
And what they think Troy would.
And there has to be at least one original member of like the Troy court there present to
I
make
see.
a decision.
I see. It's all coming together. All makes sense now.
Yeah.
Um,
It's simple when you get down to it, you know.
and what is the deal with Croy?
Croy is like Satan.
Gotcha.
This is when things have kind of gone off the rails over the years, but yeah,
This
Croy.
is second wave Troyism.
Croy is like evil as hell. And he's like something.
I like him.
Something like a Memphis rapper would like rap about, like 3-6 or something. Like they would like probably worship Croy.
I like this.
You like it?
I like this lore. This is
Yeah.
great. So that's Croy.
We're all idiots.
And so I imagine y'all are on tour and bringing up this these legends and telling stories.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, Troy still comes up. I mean, Troy kind of had his heyday. Probably, you remember the DIY Facebook groups and the Troy trolling that was going on.
Oh, I do.
Extensively that you took part in as well.
I took a lot of part in. If you couldn't tell, graphic design was my passion at the time.
Oh yeah,
So basically, I learned graphic design because of that Facebook group.
that's amazing.
Like,
God, that was a crazy group.
this is full circle, or kind of. It's like I wanted to make memes so bad, and I wanted to make oddly specific memes.
Yeah.
Really bad. So I like learned how to use Photoshop because of that Facebook group. I was like learning how to like superimpose people's faces.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and like rip out like weird art and band logos to use in the memes, and now those techniques I use till this day for mock-ups.
That's
For the
amazing.
bands.
That's so sick. Self-fulfilling prophecy.
The way I learned to meme is how I like make, like, if a band sends me artwork that doesn't quite work, I know from my meme making days, like, how to make it work on a t-shirt.
That's so sick. Yeah, there was some legendary discourse had in that.
Because, like, something would happen and I would try to make a meme, like, in the next, like, 30 minutes.
Yeah, you were jumping on
I was
it.
like, this is going to be relevant for the afternoon. Let's go. And then now I'm using the same things today.
It's beautiful. The circle of life.
I'm a memeologist turned graphic designer turned screen printer.
Yeah. Natural path. As God intended.
As Troy intended.
As Troy intended. Praise be.
Praise be to Troy. Now we know.
Yeah, I'm happy to expand on that lore. Now, maybe Paul Reese can sleep at night.
Yes.
He hated Troy.
He hated Troy.
Yeah, remember?
Paul Reese. Oh, yeah.
He got really mad about Troy.
Guys, this is a serious group.
Yeah.
Or no, that can happen sometimes when you feel kind of like not in on a joke, but then everybody's made a joke and you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah, I think he felt emasculated by Troy, which I can understand.
I feel emasculated by Troy.
That's fair.
And I'm just learning about him.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
But
That's why I'm Team Croy, dude. That's why I'm Team Croy, man.
There's this band called Croy and the Boys.
Croy and the Boys.
From Nashville. Or no, from Texas, not Nashville. And they're really good.
Yeah.
And me and Jude just started following them because of their name. And they're awesome.
I'm definitely going to...
Shout out Croy and the Boys.
Shout out Croy and the Boys.
Let's play some shows.
Learn all the lore. You have a show tomorrow night.
I do, yeah. We do.
Yes, the band has a show tomorrow night.
Band.
And are y'all opening the show?
We are, yeah. We're opening for Flory, which is one of my favorite bands.
This is the Grey Eagle.
Yeah.
I like the Grey Eagle a lot. It's a solid venue.
Oh, yeah. It's a treat to get to play there.
However, I scrolled through. I don't know how it all works.
Yeah.
I scrolled through their recent events. And maybe I'm just out of touch. I feel like it's hard for me to be out of touch, but like I don't know who any of the people are.
Yeah.
I knew you guys.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Tombstone Poetry. All right. Yeah. But like for the past like month out and next month, it's just like a lot of people with like hats with feathers in them, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on because
That's
I was like,
fair.
this is the place that like Agent Orange and like TRI played at, and
Yeah.
I don't know where. I don't know.
Tombstone almost opened for Agent Orange there like 2 months ago, which would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
And so we got offered the show the day of, but anyway.
Sounds very Agent Orange.
Yeah.
That's the most Agent Orange thing. Like, can you play tonight? Right now.
Go up and play country rock.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know who's booking their stuff. I mean, I love the Grey Eagle, and I'm glad you guys are playing there tomorrow night. It's just...
I think it's a lot of up and coming bands there now.
Yeah.
Like I recognize a good bit of the names. Like Flory is like a big up and coming like country rock, alt country band, you know. So it was like when we got the show, I was like, hell yeah. And we're doing another show with them in Durham a couple of days from now. But yeah, I think it's interesting because I'll check out I'll see the bands on the bills and I'll look them up, and all of them are like seemingly like on the new generation. I think is more what Grey Eagle's booking now.
I guess so. I guess I'm old.
You're not over the hill yet.
I don't know what's going on. But yeah.
It'll be a fun show.
Yeah.
We're excited. 6-piece.
6-piece.
Yeah.
Good stage. Good sound.
Yes, the stage to do a 6-piece.
Opening set.
30 minutes long.
30 minutes long.
Start at 8.
And you like the band playing.
Love the band. They're playing for an hour. 2-band bill. 30 minutes, hour. Easy. Hopefully they'll let me have some of their tequila in the green room. We'll see. But they're friendly. I've met them before,
That's
so
great.
I think maybe I can finagle that. We'll see.
And then you have a single coming out soon, right?
Yeah, July 8th.
July 8th.
Yep, July 8th.
And then there will be a link below with that
Yeah,
single.
I can send you the pre-save
Ooh,
link.
pre-save.
Yeah, I'm doing that now.
Yeah.
pay enough for DistroKid, so why not?
My coworker got pissed off about a pre-save for a band.
Really?
Because he never really experienced pre-save before, but apparently his Spotify gave him a notification that a band called Haggis came out with a song.
Yeah.
And he loves this band Haggis, and he like, oh, let's click on it. And he sent he told his friends about it.
Yeah.
They were Haggis fans. He's like, Haggis has a new song out, and they all got mad at him because it was like
a pre-save.
It was a pre-save.
Yeah. See, that is a bit tough. I can understand that.
But for me, I'm talking about it right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's like it might piss people off, but like I've now brought up Haggis to you.
Yeah.
Now on a podcast, and then also he talked about it for like he's like it's not coming out for another 7 days.
There you go.
And he kept bringing it up.
It circulates. That's the interesting thing. I've never wanted to do it either because it feels like a bit of a, for lack of better term, like blue ball.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. I do what you can to get people to listen to your music.
And talk about it, even if they're kind of mad. Like, all right, I was pissed off they did a pre-save, but the song's pretty good.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know. It's... People don't really make shit from music, so the least you can do is click one little thing and help them out through the service that's actively exploiting them.
Yeah, totally. So that's going to come out, and maybe you said it was July 8th. It's coming out?
Yep, July 8th. It's a Tuesday.
Yeah,
Dropping
I'll have
on a Tuesday.
a link for that on this YouTube video too.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't know if I'll have this done before or after then, but it'll be out. And anything you can tell us about the next song?
Yeah, it's probably the most country song we've ever made, but it's still got dissonant, loud-ass parts. There's a lot of pedal steel, fiddle going on, some organ. It's short. It's like 2 minutes. We've got a music video coming with it that we filmed in Statesville with my good friend Oliver Pippin and his videographer, DeRay, who was...
I've seen Oliver's stuff.
Yeah.
Got like a lot of stop motion. Did artwork too, right?
Yeah, he did the artwork for our first record.
That's right. Yeah, it's always so cool seeing all the different names of people, and obviously Instagram. I'm kind of flooded with how I feel like that meme with all the connected dots or whatever, the thread that connects everything. I'm like, I've heard that name.
It's like, what's that? Pepe Sylvia from Always Sunny.
Yes.
Whenever Charlie's
that's me when I'm like, oh yeah, that's the band I printed for, and they did artwork for that, and that. And I printed T-shirts for y'all recently. And is that for a tour coming up, or is that just to have at shows, or just?
It's for Well,
you have the show tomorrow.
Grey Eagle, and then we're playing Durham 2 days later, and then probably whatever we have left over. I don't think. Well, I'm doing a couple solo gigs in July, so I'll probably bring leftovers to those and just see what's up.
Yeah, I like the most recent shirt.
Yeah, my friend Hannah designed that.
Yeah.
She plays bass in this other band that I'm in called I-26 Connector. Yeah. It's a title in protest, not in support.
Yeah, no, yeah, I figure.
We have a song called I-26 Connector Blues.
Oh, no. That's awesome. Yeah, there was a massive sinkhole where I'm from, Birmingham, back in the day. And it was called the Claremont Sinkhole.
Oh, yeah?
And me and my buddy were a duo, kind of like a They Might Be Giants kind of thing.
Ah, that's sick. I love They Might Be Giants.
We just had ridiculous, goofy songs. And we would change our band name every show.
That's awesome.
And that was one
Did
of our
you do the
names.
Claremont Sinkhole?
Yeah.
That's kind of an awesome name.
We just called ourselves the Claremont Sinkhole.
I might have to write a song about the Claremont
I just love the
Sinkhole.
idea of how we got to just change our name every show.
Yeah, that's so
funny. It's just
funny.
the two of us and our goofy music.
Oh, I love that. I love They Might Be Giants. I love Ween too.
Ween
I got a Ween
influence.
tat right here.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
I got the Boognish.
Do you have a favorite Ween song?
Dude, that's so hard.
And is it Spinal Meningitis or whatever that song is?
I do love that song. I love You Were the Fool. I love the Argus. I love Birthday Boy off the first record. No, I honestly it's a little basic, but I love the deep cuts. But Transdermal Celebration is just one of the best rock songs ever.
What got you into Ween?
I think just feeling insane. like just feeling like an insane person for a while and like going through a crazy time. And I had Godween Satan, the first record, on CD, and I would listen to it every single day in my car. And it's like 30 songs long. And I would be going to class and just listening to Godween Satan and like chain smoking and just a crazy, terrible vibe. But yeah, I formed this like deep connection to Ween.
That's great.
Through that.
Well,
and I had to get the tattoo.
I believe you'll be opening for Ween.
I would kill it. Well, we'll see if they can get it together. That's the biggest problem.
Well, their kids will. I think their kids are forming bands now.
Oh, really?
I think both of them have sons that have tried to.
That's crazy.
Make a Ween Junior. If
That's
I'm not
wild.
mistaken.
Are you a fan?
Yeah, I mean, not super fan, but
Yeah.
I've definitely listened to the catalog and thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun music to listen to. I love stuff that just takes you by surprise.
Yes.
Like Mr. Bungle, too, and shit like that.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff.
Good
and
stuff.
then, are you doing any upcoming tours or anything? You have solo shows, and then after that, is it kind of wide open, back in the studio, back to you're gonna do another album, but like you did like 3 days and Drops the Sun. Next one's gonna be like 1 day.
That'd be crazy. We're actually making the newest record in our basement.
Great.
I wanted to do more of scale it down, and it's still like pretty high fidelity because Mouse has like an insane amount of really nice mics, and I mean we still recorded drums with like a 12 mic setup and shit. But yeah, I really like the sound we're getting out of there. We're working on an EP right now that this single is on. I just wanted to drop this song and have something new out there. We're playing the Orange Peel in August with Basque for their album release show.
That's great.
Which is awesome.
Basque is so dope.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
They like hit us up, and I was like, oh my God, like y'all are so sick. And then we're opening for this band Gouge Away September 17th. They're like kind of like post-punk hardcore. It's gonna be an interesting vibe. I want to pull up and play the most country set possible because I think it'd be funny. And then I think we're gonna tour in October.
That's great.
So that's kind of the upcoming shows list.
Yeah, love to hear it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. On that, I'll have stuff below in the video description and in the comments, and that has been the full story, Troy and all
Troy and all
from Caelan.
Hell yeah.
Tombstone Poetry.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Hams.
Oh yeah.